All right, well, this is going to be a really fun segment. We're so glad to have with us the owner of Wholi Moli, Jamie LaFear, along with sourdough class facilitator Jeanette Torville. Thank you both so much for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
We're looking forward to this one. I think everybody at home will be too.
We are sourdough bread. I feel like it's the rage. It's what everyone has been making, learning to make, wanting to make. And do you feel like it started during the pandemic?
I do. I think we had a lot of time on our hands. And so really wanting to get back to the basics of baking and homesteading. And so sourdough, we had a lot of time to do that.
That's right.
Well, so people are going to get the chance to learn how to do this. But Jamie, tell us, I mean, do you do a lot of classes like this at Wholi Moli? What made you want to do something like this?
We do. So it's kind of our passion. Our passion is teaching. So whether it's becoming more self-sufficient, learning skills in the home, outside the home, that's kind of one of our missions with Wholi Moli. So offering free education, just like tonight's class at 6 o'clock is completely open to the public. It's free. We had a sellout class the last time we did this. So lots of people really hungry and interested in learning new skill sets.
Now, do they need to be signing up for this in advance, or they just show up?
Just show up.
I want to take part.
Show up.
Well, that's
wonderful.
Fun. How did you start doing this? Like, what made you want to learn?
Honestly,
kind of the tools of the trade.
I really did not grow up in a house that was full of cookers and bakers. I wanted to learn myself so that I would know how to do these things. And bread is a pretty simple thing to get into. It doesn't require, knowing some major recipes and all the ingredients. And so I just started dabbling, and it took off from there.
Well, good.
Do you mind to show us? I know I haven't either. I'm excited to learn. What
do we need to do?
It looks pretty simple, but
absolutely. So the key to any starter or any sourdough bread is the starter. It's basically the thing that gives it gas and the sourdough taste. And so we have a sample of the sourdough starter right here.
Okay.
So you add flour and water, just 1 to 1 to 1. So you're going to put 52 grams of flour. If one of you want to put flour in there, you can do.
You want flour
52.
patrol?
I'm going to be on flour patrol.
52 grams in there.
You might need to help me out
can
because I don't have my glasses on, so we
Keep
got to
going.
make
You're
sure.
at 26.
Yeah, you'll want a kitchen scale so you can measure in grams, and so that's what she's doing
you
here
did too
today.
much.
It's okay, you can pull it out
far?
and just put it back over in the little thing.
Gosh,
it's okay. It's okay. Yep. Wash your hands.
That's always the fun part about being at the kitchen.
Yes,
You know?
exactly.
Now it's under.
Experiment. Yep.
This is like a game here. Okay, I'm at 50, and what do I want to
It's like Goldilocks. You have to
just
get
a little more.
just
right. Yeah,
Okay.
just keep pouring it in. It's pretty forgiving. Sourdough is very forgiving. So just, you're good. That's perfect.
Okay.
And then you're gonna grab some water, so you can just pour in water.
Okay.
From there, you're gonna
Same amount?
Same amount. 52 grams of water. So they're looking at the
I'm be a little bit careful with
do it
because
slow.
a little. Yeah, you don't realize how heavy water is.
35. Okay, you're getting close. Getting close. Pull back on the brakes. Pull back on the brakes. Oh,
It's totally fine.
So
you can add a little more flour.
Just a little bit. Okay, that's what I was going to ask.
A little more flour. You're good. It's very forgiving.
Good.
It'll mix together here.
I think that does it.
Perfectly fine. So you'll mix it together, the starter, the flour, the water. And then basically this is what in normal bread is the active yeast or the dry yeast. The starter and this mixture become the yeast in sourdough bread. It's what gives it its sour flavor. So once you mix this all up, you let it get really active so that it's growing and doubling, and it'll be the thing that causes the bread to rise. Yes. So then once you do that, you basically get it to where it's active in a certain time period, and then you add it to your dough mixture, which is the flour, the water, the salt. Mix all of that together, let it sit, and then sourdough has a unique thing. Like you would knead your bread, you're going to do stretch and fold. So you're going to stretch and fold the bread, build the gluten up in the bread, let it sit and rest. You'll do 4 sets of those, and then when that's ready, then you do what you call proof. So you put it in a fridge or a warm environment. The temperature in your home has everything to do with how fast the bread rises. So if you put it in the fridge, it's a slower rise. If you put it on a warm counter in your hot kitchen as you're baking, it'll rise faster. And then from there you can start baking. So you basically...
How long does the process take in total?
It could be, yes, it could be depending on the environment of your house. It could be, if you put it in the fridge overnight, you can prove it overnight. Or if you do it on the kitchen counter, it could be hours till it basically just needs to double. So just depends on the temperature of your house. But
and I feel like the options are endless with sourdough. Like I was saying as well, like you can kind of make it like you can really kind of, I don't know.
Yeah, talk to us about
Pick
some
it
of the
up a
different
little
things
bit.
you can
Pick it up.
make
You can
with
make-
this start.
You
right
can
here.
make that.
something?
You can make focaccia. I made focaccia last weekend. It was so delicious. But you can add things to your sourdough bread as well. Make jalapeno cheddar or rosemary garlic, or add different inclusions to it to make it. Some people use pancake batter. This is pancake batter, or different ingredients. You can add this to anything. The internet is full of
from
recipes.
this.
So, yep.
And then adding in the other
Yeah,
ingredients.
exactly. And this you can keep feeding and keep pulling from, so you don't need to like make a starter every time. You
Okay.
can just put it in your fridge, store it, and then pull it when you're ready to bake again and get it active again and start making new things.
Jamie, is this fun for you as the owner of Wholi Moli to work with people like Jeanette and to
Absolutely.
teach people things that they can then take home and incorporate into their own kitchen?
Absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
as you see Jeanette's passion for sourdough, I mean,
I
that comes
know,
through with
right?
all of our educators. You know, they're taking a skill set that they've mastered and they're teaching it to our community. I mean, years ago it was everyone wanted to learn how to use an Instapot, and we
Right.
had classes on how to use an Instapot. And so whether it's foraging, you know, from the forest, or learning how to or bread, or make bread, health, of course, nutrition, all of those classes. But they're fun for us because if we're not teaching them, we're learning from our own educators. So.
Yes.
So we know the basics of making sourdough. Now everybody at home wants to as well. So when is that class happening?
It's tonight at 6 o'clock at Wholi Moli in Barboursville. It's up near the Target and the newly remodeled Starbucks. So come see us at 6 o'clock.
And you said we don't have to have reservations, just
Nope.
show up?
We only have seating, chairs, I should say, for about 30 people. So if you're coming and you have an extra
Get there
pop-up chair,
early, it sounds like.
yeah, or
Yeah.
bring your own pop-up chair because we have space, we just don't have enough chairs.
Okay.
That's
All
a good
right.
idea. Just
Yeah.
throw a chair in the back of
Right.
the car and you're good to go.
It'll be a fun little night.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, this is exciting.
I
And
know.
also, real quickly, if people want to keep up throughout the year on
Yes.
upcoming events and classes like this that you're doing,
Absolutely.
remind us again, what's the best way to
So
find
probably social media. Facebook, we have a pretty good, we're good about putting all our classes in there. And then in the back of our store, if you're ever there to visit, we have a big monthly calendar. So we'll
Okay.
have all the events, the speakers, where I'll be speaking, things like that too.
you? Wonderful. Well, this seems so
I
fun.
know. Yeah,
and
it
I'm
is
already
fun.
thinking about different breads I want to make.
Right?
Yeah.
We may need to bring Jeanette back to teach
think
us
so.
some
Yeah,
things that
come
we
to
can
the
make
class. We would love to have you guys.
Sounds good.
We're looking
Yes.
forward to it.
Yeah.
Thank you both so much for being
Yeah,
here.
absolutely.
Thanks
Thank
for having
you.
us.
Have fun at that class tonight, everyone. Let us know how it goes if you go and learn how to make sourdough.
Yeah.
And if you make it at home, we'd love to see your
Yeah.
finished product.
You get to do some taste testing
Yeah, send us
tonight.
pictures.